morning, Metalheads Internet. Welcome to a new episode of the Metal Meltdown. And today I think we need to have a talk about Mr. Ozzy Osbourne. The Prince of Darkness, the godfather of heavy metal, a bona fide rock and roll superstar. So much so that I don't think I need to spend a lot of time telling you all who Ozzy Osbourne is. There's a good chance you already know. And as such, that means you should also already know that Ozzy Osbourne, even by the standards of the rock and roll genre, is not exactly a perfect vision of health. We're talking about a man that didn't just do drugs, didn't just drink, didn't just smoke, didn't just party. We're talking about a guy who got so fucking drunk he pissed on the Alamo. We're talking about a guy that got so fucking high he snorted ants. We're talking about a man so fucking insane he bites the head off of living animals for promotional stunts. The one truly consistent thing about his career from the early days of Black Sabbath to right fucking now is that he truly is goddamn bonkers. And he has consistently done things that absolutely would have killed an ordinary man in ordinary circumstances. But he didn't. Now, granted, he has struggled, even quite recently, but he has continued to perform, he has continued to make music, and he's even remained one of the most honest figures in this genre. You know, he's not out there selling out to the masses, he's not concerned with what's hip and what's trendy. He's just doing what he loves to do pretty much for the sake of doing it. I think with all this in mind, we've come to assume that Ozzy Osbourne is unbreakable, and that's why recent news that we've heard is particularly troubling. For those unaware, Ozzy Osbourne recently revealed that he has a strain of Parkinson's disease, a brain disorder that causes a gradual loss of muscle control. Symptoms include tremors, stiffness, slowed body movements, poor balance, all things that you don't necessarily want to have at 71 years old, particularly when you are still performing live at 71 years old. And especially not for a 71-year-old performing musician who has suffered some major physical setbacks these last few years. He's gotten himself into a lot of accidents. He's hurt himself quite a bit. Not intentionally, but it's taken its toll. He's had to postpone quite a few tours, and it's even affected the way that he presents himself in media. For instance, if you watch his performance at the American Music Awards with Travis Scott and Post Malone, you'll notice that Ozzy remains seated the entire time and is completely lip-syncing as well. Or a more recent example, take a look at the music video for Straight to Hell taken from his new album, where you can see him pretty much throughout the entire video holding a cane and sitting down, and he looks pretty uncomfortable just there. He's got a lot of makeup concealing his face as well, hiding wrinkles. If I had to guess, hiding bruises as well from when he's fallen down and hurt himself. I mean, granted, it could also just be part of the music video, but it would not be too much of a stretch to assume exactly what I just assumed, you know, considering everything. And I'm sorry if this sounds really upsetting or morbid, but I honestly think it's the truth. Nobody wants to say it because it's so upsetting and morbid, but somebody needs to. So I'm going to say it. Ozzy Osbourne is 71 years old. He doesn't have much time left. So with all this in mind, my goal today is to make a plea to Ozzy Osbourne or anyone in Osbourne's camp to cancel the tour. Please. Just stop. Stay home. Refund all the tickets. Send out Zakk Wylde and assemble an all-star band, a big tribute concert to Ozzy if you still really, really, really want to do it. You've invested too much money and time. Whatever. I promise you fans will love that just as much. But Ozzy, you need to stay home. You need to stay home. I love the fact that you want to get out there and perform for people. Believe me, I do. And with that in mind, there's even a small part of me that wants you to at least finish this tour. But if I'm speaking objectively, it's not healthy, it's not feasible, it's not responsible. You need to stay home. You need to. You can't do this to yourself anymore. Like, I understand that from your account, you've been pretty bored at home recovering from all this. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's why you made the Ordinary Man album, if I'm not mistaken. But I'd rather see you bored and alive than entertained and dead. You don't owe us anything. You don't owe us a new album. You don't owe us a tour. I know you recently said something like you don't feel like you've made your Sgt. Pepper's album yet, that equivalent album in your career that defines you as an artist. And I'm worried about that statement because that tells me you're going to keep trying to do stuff to make that album, to which I must say, Ozzy, you don't need to. You've made that album, all right? Diary of a Madman, Blizzard of Oz, iconic 80s metal records, No More Tears, a fantastic slate of mature, well-rounded heavy metal that came out in a time where commercial heavy metal was really losing its appeal unless you were like a Pantera or Metallica or something. Or for that matter, fucking Black Sabbath, man. I mean, you invented this genre with Black Sabbath. War Pigs is one of the greatest albums of all time. You don't need to make your Sgt. Pepper's. You've already done it multiple times. You don't need to do another tour. You owe us nothing. I love you, Ozzy Osbourne. Everything you see here does not exist without you. We do not exist without you. But it's time. Just stay home. Please. I'm well aware that this might never reach Ozzy Osbourne or anyone in his inner circle, but this is something I just needed to get off my chest because honestly, it's kind of sick to me that he's going to get out there in his condition and try and finish these tours. Like, I understand that he's had to postpone these tours a couple of times. I understand there are lots of people that have bought tickets. By this point, these tickets have been sitting around for like 2 years now. I get it. You can't just cancel that. But the alternative is Ozzy dies on stage, and that's not something anybody wants. I won't tell you not to go to these shows. The tickets are way too expensive to simply give away at this point. And for all I know, this might be your only chance to see Ozzy. I don't know you. Maybe you've never seen him before, and this is it. I get it. I really do. And for the sake of full disclosure, I'll tell you that I actually do have tickets to see him in Hamilton later this year. But we need to make some kind of agreement that after this, he needs to stop. That we just won't buy tickets and we want him to stay home. I mean, I doubt it would actually stop him, but at least it would signal to the people around him that we care about his health and we care about his well-being and we don't want to watch him die on stage. I would much rather he be at home with his kids, with his wife, with his grandkids, with his close friends, than be on a stage singing Crazy Train for the 80 millionth fucking time. So yeah, that's it. I know, not the most uplifting video. I doubt I'll really accomplish a whole lot with this. You know, I've made open letters to Imgwa and Lorna Shore before that didn't reach them, and Ozzy Osbourne is 80,000 quadrillion times bigger than both of those artists combined, so this definitely won't reach him. But I needed to get this off my chest, and who knows, maybe there is that slight chance that if we all pool our voices together with this, that we can convince him to start thinking a little bit more about himself than us, because he doesn't owe us fucking anything. He doesn't. If somehow Ozzy does find this, I don't know, in case we find a needle in a haystack, I suppose, that kind of miracle, I would just want to say, feel better. Please stay home. I mean, I doubt I can physically stop you. I mean, I probably could physically stop you, but, you know, not like that. So if you do this tour, please just be careful. Please. And, thanks for everything. That's it. I got nothing else. Yeah.